Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I'm chemistry teacher from Ismailia Youth Service Schools. Today we are going to start the new chapter. Today we are going to start a new chapter. The chapter number 4, the periodicity of elements. As you know, the periodicity of elements. So before going to start the chapter, follow the instructions. Take your textbook along with you. Take the screenshots of every slide which will be shared overhead. Now, the periodicity of elements. First of all, periodicity of elements. As you know, the definition of periodicity of elements. What is an element? An element is a substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. An element is a substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. Moreover, we can say that an element is composed of atoms that has the same number of protons in its nucleus as all other atoms of that element. Now, this is the definition of element. Now, next is the periodicity. What is periodicity? We must know the definition of periodicity. Now, the definition of periodicity is repetition of similar properties. Repetition of similar properties after a regular interval or gap is called periodicity. Now, I am repeating again. Repetition of similar properties after a regular interval or gap is called periodicity. Now, moreover, we can say that periodicity of elements means that the properties, especially the chemical properties of elements, repeat at regular interval. Now, next is the historical development of the periodic table. Okay, now, periodic table was arranged by different scientists in a period of time. Okay, okay, students. Okay, I'm repeating again. Periodic table was arranged by different scientists in a period of time. Now, the question was that why it was necessary to classify the elements. The answer of this question is that with the increase in the number of elements which were being discovered, chemists initiated their effort to arrange them or group them on the basis of similarities in their physical and chemical properties. Such grouping of elements was useful because it made their study easy and enabled the scientists to understand the reason for such similarities in their properties. Okay? This is all about the historical development of the periodic table. Now we are going to discuss the several stages of the development of the periodic table. First of all, okay, students, first classification is the Dobereiner classification. Introduction. In 1829, a German chemist, Johann Dobereiner, described a relationship between atomic masses and properties of elements. Okay, I am repeating again. In 1829, a German chemist, Johann Dobereiner, described a relationship between atomic masses and properties of elements. He arranged similar elements in a group of three. Listen carefully. How he arranged the elements? He arranged several elements in a group of three, and this family of three elements is known as Dobereiner triad. The student repeating again. He arranged similar elements in group of three. This family of three elements is known as Dobereiner triad. Now, what is the statement of the Dobereiner triad? Statement is central atom of each set of triad had an atomic mass almost equal to the arithmetical mean of the masses of the other two elements. Now, okay, students, I'm repeating again the students. Central atom of each set of triad had an atomic mass almost equal to the arithmetical mean of the atomic mass of other two elements. Now, here atom is used, which is mean. What is the arithmetical mean? Okay, students, do you know what is mean by arithmetical mean? Arithmetical mean is the average of a set of numerical values is calculated by adding them together and divide by the number of terms in the set. Okay, so you can see on the screen the table, Dobereiner triad table you can see on the screen. The first triad is you can see that the elements, that is lithium, sodium and potassium. This is the first triad, elements of three group. and he arranged these elements by increasing atomic masses. Lithium has atomic mass 7, sodium has atomic mass 23, and potassium has atomic mass 39. And as you can see that sodium is the central element of this triad. So by taking the average of the arithmetical mean of lithium and potassium, 7 plus 39 divided by 2, so we get the answer 22, 23 spring, and this 23 is equal to the central atom, that is the atomic mass of 23. So according to the Turbo-Linear triad, the arithmetical means of the other two elements will be equal to the central atom of the triad. Now next example, second triad is the calcium, strontium and barium. Okay, and he also arranged these elements by increasing atomic masses. Calcium atomic mass 40, strontium has atomic mass 87.6, or we can say 88 approximately, and barium has atomic mass 137. Okay, and the central atom is strontium. So by taking the arithmetical means of calcium and barium, that is 40 plus 137 divided by 2, so we get the answer 88.5, which is approximately equal to the strontium atomic mass of the strontium. Okay, is it clear? Now, next triad is the third triad is the element of chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Chlorine, bromine, and iodine are also arranged by increasing atomic masses. Atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5, bromine has atomic mass 80, and iodine has atomic mass 127. So the central atom of this triad is bromine having atomic mass 80. So by taking the arithmetical means 35.5 plus 127 divided by 2, we get the answer, that is 81.5, that is almost approximately equal to the atomic mass of bromine, which is the central atom of this triad. Okay, these are all. This is about the triad of the Doberer triad. Now there are some defects of the Doberer classification. So defects in Doberer classification. This law or rule cannot be extended to the classification of all elements, because it is true only in cases of very few elements only, because based on the mathematical mean. Now it means that it was not possible to arrange all elements in a set of triad, since very few elements could be arranged in such group. So this classification did not accept it. Now it is all about the Doberer classification. Now students, now going to the next classification. I hope it is clear to you. Next classification is Newland classification. Now introduction. In 1864, an English chemist, John Newland, reported his law of octaves. Now, octaves. Here a word is used, octaves. Octave means 8. Okay. So, he arranged elements in a group of 8. He arranged the elements in order of increasing atomic masses in a group of 8. So, what is the statement of the Newland classification? If elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, the eighth element starting from a given one has similar properties as first one. I am repeating again. If elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic masses, the eighth element starting from a given one has similar properties as first one. That is, its properties are a kind of repetition of the first, like the eighth note in an octave of music. So he compared this with a musical note, and you can see, but for more explanation you can observe, or you can see the table on the screen. You can see that the lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. These are the elements which are arranged by increasing atomic masses. As you can see that lithium has atomic mass 7, beryllium has atomic mass 9, boron has atomic mass 11, carbon has atomic mass 12, nitrogen has 14, oxygen has 16, and fluorine has 19. If we consider the lithium as the first element, so the eighth element, here about is used the octave. It means the eighth element. If we consider the lithium as the first element, so the sodium is the eighth element. It means that lithium and sodium both have similar properties. Similarly, if we take the beryllium as the first element, so eighth element the eighth element will be magnesium. It means beryllium and magnesium will have the similar properties. Similarly, if we take the boron is the first element. So the eighth element will be the aluminum. So boron and aluminum will have the similar properties. Carbon and silicon will have the similar properties. Similarly, nitrogen and phosphorus. If we consider nitrogen as the first element, so the eighth element will be the phosphorus. It means nitrogen and phosphorus will have the similar properties. Similarly, oxygen and sulfur will have the similar properties, and fluorine and chlorine will have the similar properties. Now, if we consider that sodium is the first element, okay? If we consider the sodium is the first element, so the eighth element will be the potassium. Okay. If we consider sodium as the first element, so the potassium will be the eighth element. It means sodium and potassium will have the similar properties. And similarly, we take the example of magnesium. Magnesium as the first element, then the calcium will be the eighth element. So magnesium and calcium will be the similar properties, and so on. It means we can conclude that elements present in a group, down in a group, like lithium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium, will have the similar properties, and they show their periodicity. Periodicity means repetition of properties after a regular interval. In a group, all the elements have the similar properties. In simple word, we can say that down in a group, all the elements will have similar properties. Okay. Now, like Dobereiner, Newland will also have some defects. There are also some defects in the Newland classification. Hydrogen was not included, as hydrogen was not included in this sequence. This law was not applicable for large number of elements because this law only applicable for the first 16 elements but did not applicable for 17 elements. It means this law was not applicable for large number of elements. So this law was also rejected. Okay, students, I hope it is clear to you. Now the next classification, we are going to move to the next classification, that is the Lothar-Meyer classification. Lothar-Meyer introduction in 1869, a German scientist Lothar-Meyer arranged 56 discovered elements in his periodic table. Okay, I am repeating again. In 1869, a German scientist Lothar-Meyer arranged 56 discovered elements in his periodic table. He described a relationship between atomic masses and atomic volume. Actually, he arranged the element. Actually, now this is about the introduction of the Lothar-Meyer classification. Now the statement is the arrangement of element is the periodicity of their atomic volume and atomic masses. Actually, he explained his classification with the help of a graph. He plotted a graph between atomic volume against atomic masses, and he observed or he studied that elements with similar properties occupy similar position on the curve. That is, the highly reactive alkali metal. You can observe through the graph that the lithium, that is the sodium, potassium, and rubidium, and next after that was the cesium. All these alkali metals occupy the peak point of the graph, showing that these elements have largest atomic volume. Okay, I am repeating again. The similar properties on the position. He studied that elements with similar properties occupy similar position on the curve. For example, the highly reactive elements like sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium occupy the peak points of the graph, showing that these elements have largest atomic volume. Okay, and you can also observe the regular spacing between the peak point of the elements. The regular spacing of the highest point confirms the idea of periodicity as suggested by Newland and his classification. Okay, students, it is all about the Lothar-Meyer classification. Now, we are now move to the next classification, that is the Mendeleev classification. Okay, Mendeleev classification introduction. In 1869, a Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev gave a new idea for the arrangement of elements. I am repeating again. In 1869, a Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev gave a new idea for the arrangement of elements. Now the statement of Mendeleev classification is the physical and chemical properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic weight. So it means he also arranged the element by increasing atomic weight or atomic masses. Okay. Now the silent features of the Mendeleev classification or Mendeleev table, it has eight vertical columns called the groups and 12 horizontal rows called the period. Okay. Elements in each vertical column have similar properties. Vacant spaces were left for the elements not discovered until then. The group number indicates the highest valence that can be attained by elements of their group. I'm again repeating the silent feature of the Mendeleev table. It has eight vertical columns. You can observe through the table. I'm again repeating the silent feature of the Mendeleev periodic table. It has eight vertical columns. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can observe to the table. It has eight vertical column. Vertical column means from top to bottom. When we go from top to bottom, this is called the vertical column. So it has eight vertical column. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So these eight vertical columns are called the groups, and horizontal rows means from when we go from left to right. So when we go from left to right, this is called the period. It has 12 period in Mendeleev periodic table. Okay, eight horizontal rows, eight vertical columns called the group, and 12 horizontal rows called the period. Now Mendeleev leave the vacant spaces are empty spaces for the elements, for the undiscovered elements. You can observe these are the empty spaces which he left for the undiscovered elements. Okay, you can see throughout the table some vacant spaces. It means that these vacant spaces are left for the undiscovered elements. Okay, the elements present in a group, when we go from top to bottom, it means all these elements will have the similar properties. According to Mendeleev, down in a group, all the elements will have the similar properties. And the next point is you can elements in each vertical column have similar properties. It is explained by vacant spaces were left for the element not discovered until then. And next one, the fourth point is the group number indicate the highest valence state can be attained by elements of their group. This point means that elements which are present in a group will have the same valence electron in their shell. For example, if an element if the elements are present in group 2, so all the elements will have 2 electrons in the valence shell. Okay, this is about the um, silent feature. Now, advantages of Mendeleev periodic table. Okay, and first advantage is it helps in systematic study of element. It forcefully proved the concept of periodicity. Systematic study means that we have a arrangement, the elements are arranged by increasing atomic masses, and each group or element have the similar properties. So it proved the concept of periodicity. Now next one is the prediction of new elements was made possible. So to understand this point, now listen carefully that to place similar elements to same groups, Newland had to leave certain empty spaces. You can again observe the table as the vacant spaces. You can observe the vacant spaces to place the similar elements to the same group. Mendeleev had to leave certain empty spaces in his table. For example, next to calcium, you can observe the calcium. Calcium is present here. This one is the calcium atomic mass with atomic mass 40. Next to the calcium atomic mass 40 should be titanium. You can see the titanium. Titanium here is, this one is the titanium. So after the, next to the calcium, instead of vacant space, there should be titanium, but titanium is placed in a group 4 because titanium has properties similar to that of silicon instead of aluminum. So Mendeleev put the titanium in group 4 because of the similar properties with silicon, and he predicted that an element which is not yet discovered will be placed in between the calcium and titanium, having the atomic mass equal to the average mass of these two elements. Okay, having the properties similar to aluminum. I am repeating again. To place similar element to same groups, Mendeleev had to leave certain empty spaces in a table. For example, next to calcium, atomic mass 40 should be titanium. Okay, should be titanium having atomic mass approximately 48, resemble to should be titanium atomic mass, but it resembles silicon atomic mass 28. As this silicon, titanium, properties of titanium resemble to silicon having atomic mass 28. So instead of aluminum, okay. So thus Mendeleev predicted that an element resembling aluminum was still to be discovered. Okay, I'm repeating again. So Mendeleev predicted that an element resembling aluminum was still to be discovered, whose atomic mass should be the average of atomic mass of calcium and titanium. Okay. Now the average mass of calcium and titanium, what will be the atomic mass of the undiscovered element? That is 40 plus divided plus 47.9 or approximately 48. If we divide add these two numbers and divide by 2, so the average mass will be 44. It means that the undiscovered animal have the atomic mass with atomic mass 44. Okay. Later on, this element was discovered and named as gallium. In this way, Mendeleev not only predicted the undiscovered element, but also guessed their atomic masses and properties as well. Okay, I think this point now should be clearly understood to you. Okay, prediction of new element was made possible. Now next one is the Mendeleev periodic table helped in correcting many doubtful atomic masses. It also had the many doubtful is corrected the atomic mass of many doubtful atomic masses. Okay. Now next we are going to the defects in Mendeleev periodic table. As all classification according to the all classification has some defects. Now Mendeleev also has some defects in his periodic table. There are three pairs of elements, that is elements of higher atomic masses placed before the elements of lower atomic masses. As you know, he arranged the element by increasing atomic masses. Okay, in arrange the Mendeleev arranged the element by increasing atomic masses. So according to him, argon has atomic mass 40 placed before the potassium, that is 39. Cobalt has atomic mass 59.5 placed before the nickel, that is 58.6, and tellurium, that is 127.6 placed before the iodine. You can also, if you want to see through the periodic table, you can see that the tellurium, I'm explaining only this one, that tellurium has atomic mass 128 and iodine has 127. So according to Mendeleev, atomic mass of tellurium is greater than the iodine. So iodine should come before the tellurium, and similarly we have cobalt, atomic mass 58.9, and that is of nickel 58.7. It means nickel and cobalt should also have not the correct place in the periodic table because cobalt has higher atomic masses than nickel. So nickel should come before the nickel should come before the cobalt. So this is the one defect. Okay. Now next effect is the no places for isotopes of elements. As you know, the definition of isotopes. What are the isotopes? Isotopes are the elements having the same atomic number but different atomic masses. As you know, students, most of the elements have isotopes. And for example, we have the isotopes of hydrogen. If you take the example of hydrogen, hydrogen has three isotopes, that is protium, deuterium, and tritium. Protium has atomic mass 1, deuterium has atomic mass 2, and tritium has atomic mass 3. So, according to the Mendeleev periodic table, also isotopes should have some place for the in the periodic table, but there is no place for the isotopes in the periodic table. This is also a defect. Next one is the similar elements, dissimilar elements placed in the same group. Dissimilar element placed in the same group. You can observe again if you want to observe the periodic table, dissimilar atom, where are the dissimilar atoms? If we observe the group 1, that is lithium, sodium, potassium, copper, silver, uranium. Uranium means gold. Although all these elements are the metal, just one similarity is there that these are the metal, but lithium, sodium, and potassium are the alkali metals. Now, what is mean by alkali metals? Alkali metals are the element when we dissolve it in water, it produces alkali or base. And copper, and silver and uranium are the coinage metal. Although these are the metals, but having different properties of all these elements. These three are the alkali metal and these three are the coinage metal. Okay, next. Mendeleev periodic table help in correcting similar elements present in different groups. Okay, similar elements placed in the different group. For example, barium in group 2 and lead in group 4 will have similar properties, but they are placed in the different group, and it failed to give the idea of atomic structure. Now, on the basis of all this discussion, we conclude that classification of element on the basis of atomic masses was not correct. In other words, we can say that atomic masses is not a fundamental property of the element. Okay? Now, next to the home task. Okay, now note down the home tasks of today's lesson. State the following laws: Dobereiner classification, law of triad. You can take the help from slide number 4 or as well as from your book. Now next one is the Newland classification, law of octaves. This law is present on the slide number 6 as well as you can take the help from your textbook. Lothar-Meyer classification, atomic clock, slide number 8, and Mendeleev classification, periodic law, that is the slide number 9. Okay, these are the you have to write the statement of these classification. Now question number 2, write down the advantages and defect of Mendeleev periodic table. Mendeleev periodic table. Okay, this answer of this question is present on slide number 11 to 12, and you can also take the help from your textbook. Next is the write a silent feature of Mendeleev periodic table, that is present on the slide number 9. And what is the periodicity? Periodicity, this is present on the slide number 3. So find the answer of this question, write in your copies. Write the answer of this question in your pair copies, and you can take the help of slide as well as the from your textbook. Okay, thank you, and have a nice day.